Chelsea finally get the new FA Women's Super League underway at the Hub in the first game of this brand new league. And trying to make a mark in it straight away against the favourites to retain it. Straight away you can see the difficult side of the playing surface there as it bobbled back to Carly Telford in the Chelsea goal. That's cleared by Horton for Arsenal.
Yeah, you just saw how the ball bobbled there. The girls are thinking, I don't want to be the first one to make a mistake, particularly in key areas, but it'll settle down after a few minutes, and I think the ball will be back and forth for that first part of the game.
Kept in by Rachel Yankee, flicked on by Little, and cleared by Bonner. Faye White in ahead of her former teammate, Helen Lander. A little strange marking her today.
Yeah, but I mean, they'll have done it all the time in training, so Helen will be looking at ways that she can get past Faye, but Faye's extremely experienced and she can get beat that often.
This is Hayley Morwood, New Zealand international, who is one of the new faces in the Chelsea ranks. I think I'm right in saying, Lucy, the only player out on the pitch that you haven't played against.
Yeah, she's very lucky. Yeah, she's come over from New Zealand, and she'll be a key player. I've sort of watched her in the World Cup as well, but yeah, not played against her. She hasn't, or I haven't had that honour.
She actually came to this country because her boyfriend is a professional rugby union player who signed for London Irish, and she signed for Chelsea Ladies. Aimed towards Buick. Julie Flaherty, one of the two players recalled by Arsenal today after that defeat in Lyon. Second leg, incidentally, is on Saturday. 2 down from the first leg as they look to reach the Champions League final. The significance of that as well, Lucy, is that it's actually in England at Craven Cottage. Yeah,
Arsenal will be looking to get there, and 2-0, 2 is always a dodgy scoreline, particularly against the likes of Arsenal, who can score goals for fun, so I don't think we'll be too worried about that, and they'll be confident going into it.
That's neatly done by Little. Flaherty with the cross. Yankee. And that's a good challenge by Kylie Davis. It's the first corner of the game, and it goes Arsenal's way.
Good build up there by Kim Little. Yankee's quick, and she gets into good positions sort of between the fullback and the centre half, so see what comes of this one.
It's Little to take it. It's a deep one. Faye White was the target for it. Picked up by Flaherty. Useful ball in again, and a very good take by Carly Telford.
Yeah, Carly's a good keeper. I mean, I played with her at Leeds, and she's vying for the #1 spot at England, and that'll sort of calm her nerves again. I'm surprised actually they didn't put the corner right underneath her head, but it's a good take. Lots of confidence from that, Carly.
Just to explain to viewers, Lucy, that the reason that Leeds have lost a fair number of players, quite a few have gone to Lincoln, is they're not one of the 8 teams in this new Super League.
No, they wanted to be, but they had the funding cut at the last minute and then couldn't come back and find more funding, which is such a shame for my club. But all the best players have gone elsewhere.
Here comes Beattie. Good cross. Just over Katie Chapman, who'd made the run from deep.
She's running the channels, Jennifer Beattie, and she's a big frame, and she's obviously looking to be the target player for Arsenal up there with Kim Little just behind her.
She's obviously versatile as well, because in that Champions League semi-final first leg she played at left back.
Yeah, I would suspect she'll have been man marking someone or trying to stop someone. She's strong, and she's technically good as well. So you know, Matt will be looking on and sort of trying to look after her.
Rafferty for Chelsea. Under pressure from Little. Chelsea just can't get out at the moment. Rafferty still has it. Eventually away. Lander.
Yeah, looking, like I said, nerves are in there, but Ashley Hinkson started well up front. Helen Lander's obviously keen to impress, playing against her old team, but it should settle down. Claire Rafferty, left back for Chelsea, is a good, experienced young international England, so you see good things from her.
Hewitt, well, she got caught in possession. The snapshot came in.
where Kate Chapman looks to get in with the ball drops just on the edge of the area. She scores a few goals from that position. Yankee did well, and it was a speculative shot. Well dealt with by Carly Telford.
Offside flag is up there against Beattie. Scored twice against Chelsea last season in a 3-2 win. Jennifer Beattie, the Scottish international.
Yeah, only just offside, I think. She needed to get there, to be honest, in that position, because she got a good run through.
And the Arsenal goalkeeper launches that towards Ellen White. Chelsea taking on Arsenal for the 16th time. And they've lost all of the previous 15 meetings. As I say, revamped, new look to them, new league. And I'm hoping today is the day and they can finally get something from Arsenal.
Yeah, it's difficult to sort of gauge it because of the new players that Chelsea have got. It's just whether they gel or not, Steve. I mean, you know, all of them are quality, and that's the whole point of the Super League. But it's just gelling them as quick as Chelsea can.
We should point out as well, in the new Women's Super League, there is a salary cap, so we can't have the situation that did occur in the women's game with Fulham a while ago, which is important, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, because you want it to be as sort of equal as possible so that you get the quality games and the quality league. Yeah, Fulham came in, and Mohamed Al Fayed, I think, rewarded quite a few girls years ago, and they just beat everybody. But you know, that was a step in this direction. So you know, it's got to be positive. But this is better.
Rafferty's throw for Chelsea. Gets it back from Hinks. Useful cross too. Faye White was first to it. Yankee couldn't bring it under control. And now Julie Flaherty. Wasn't expecting that back from Yankee. And the delivery from Bewitt, comfortably taken by Emma Byrne.
Yeah, Danny Bewitt did well there to get the ball, but I don't think a centre forward. I don't think Ellen Landry expected her to be able to get the cross across, but it's more promising for Chelsea.
Katie Chapman has been penalised.
A bit of experience there, a bit of a hand on the shoulder and a foul. She'll take that one.
Perry, now Bewitt. Forward by Sophie Perry. Faye White with the interception, and then the long-range effort was a good one. Coming in from Landa, the former Arsenal player, only left last summer. Had the confidence to strike that first time.
Yeah, it sat up really nicely for her as it sort of dropped back into her. She, you know, Bewitt did well here, the good build-up, but as it dropped back into Helen Landa here, you know, it stood up nicely, and then I don't know if she saw Emma Byrne off the line, but that's on target, that's in. Good effort.
Certainly had the Arsenal goalkeeper scrambling. This has fallen out a little for Arsenal. Excellent interception by Davis.
Yeah, I think, like I said at the start, if Chelsea can keep their two banks of four and defend narrow as narrow as show them wide, then I think that's the way to play against Arsenal. As soon as you get stretched back four, then you've had it, because they've got runners in from midfield. But yeah, they started off well.
So important from Chelsea's point of view, I guess, that you don't concede early and affect things mentally.
Yeah, I've played against Arsenal a few times where we've conceded early, and it's just a death knell. It's very, very difficult to come back because they're all confident, and the longer you keep it at 0-0, or you can nick a goal or two, you know, then you're going to put them under pressure.
Laura Harvey there, the Arsenal manager, of course, wants exactly the opposite. Chapman just beaten to that. Champ, the former Arsenal player. Carly Telford. Hinks beaten in the air by Grant. Away by Horton. Good battling by Ellen White.
Challenge there. I just heard Matt Beard shout out, that's the ball up to Helen Landa, and Ashley Hinks is the one that he wants, so that they can feed off and have runners forward. Chelsea,
as we were hearing, have had a long time to prepare for this game, and the launch of the new Super League. Just one competitive game so far. Whereas Arsenal have been in cup action and Champions League action.
Yeah, I spoke to Steph Horton, who's a friend of mine, and she's from Leeds United days, and she, you know, it's a long time travelling. So, like Laura Harris said pre-match, that you know it could work both ways. They've had lots of games, but also they're travelling, and travelling takes it out of your legs.
There is Steph Horton with the header. And again, up to Rafferty. Neatly taken down by Champ. Led by Fahy.
I like the look of these two Chelsea forwards. If they can just get a better ball into them, I think that Chelsea will create things. And they both look strong. They both look like they've got an eye for goal, and I think that'll be key in Chelsea's tactics.
Rafferty's throw. Another header won by Steph Horton. And Arsenal might be able to break now. Yankee. Beattie was trying to stay on side. Ball was too strong anyway.
Yeah, you see how Arsenal counter there. They've always got masses of players moving forward, and they all know where each other's going to be. And you know, through that, Kim Little, I do like Kim Little as a player. I've seen her a lot of times, and she creates things out of nothing. She's only small, but she's lithe. You know, she's going to create opportunities for Jennifer Beattie, who we saw there.
She's only 20, Kim Little. And we heard the stat before kick-off that last season, Lucy, 47 goals in 36 games in all competitions. Staggering.
It is.
Total.
Yeah, it is, and it'd be good to see the sort of out of how many opportunities, because Arsenal do create lots of opportunities, but the thing about her is that she puts them away. When she gets the opportunity, she puts a large percentage of them away, I would suspect.
So far so good though for Chelsea. Promoted to the old Premier League in 2005. A year after their funding was taken over by Chelsea's Football in the Community Development Programme. Proper affiliation with the club. Beattie's chasing this one. No chances taken by Kylie Davis.
Can't score from over the fence.
It's in towards Beattie again. Chest down, couldn't find the red shirt.
Good play again, Ashley Hinks held the ball up well.
Bird. There's a foul on Danny Bird. She's taken it quickly, and it's come through to Lander. Morwood's through ball, there's a good one, and that was a chance for Hinks. And she got right underneath it.
Great run and great ball, and I just think this pitch just bobbled up a little bit. I mean, Hayley Morwood did really well, and Helen Landon laying it off. Hayley Morwood just saw the run there down the side of the centre half. I just think just before she's got to put underneath it. You've got to hit that first time as well, because that's the only chance she gets, but she's got underneath it.
That's the clearest opportunity of the game so far.
I think that if that had been on target, it'd have been difficult to save, because I think she was going to get a bit of strength behind that.
Bonner's header for Chelsea. Bewitt. Lander chases. Emma Byrne made an early decision and used all her experience there.
Yeah, it's difficult for Emma Byrne, because quite a lot of the times that she plays, she actually doesn't have to do that much. But I've seen a couple of key European games where she's been outstanding and done really well. So she, like you say, she's very experienced, but probably not sort of match action as quite a lot of the other keepers in the Premier League.
Her 11th season at Arsenal. In that time, she's won 9 titles, 6 FA Cups, and their Champions League success of 2007. One, of course, Arsenal are hoping to repeat this season, but as we were saying, 2-0 down from the first leg against Lyon in France.
At the moment, it's difficult for the likes of Rachel Yankee, who's extremely good at running with the ball, because it's just bobbling a little bit and people getting in the way.
Great ball by Beattie. It's Ellen White who's in for Arsenal. What a challenge by Claire Rafferty.
Yeah, Claire Rafferty did well there, because Ellen White is a good, strong young player, and she just managed to get her body in the way and put her off. Well done, Raf.
Strong challenge from Fahy. Arsenal have it back. Little. That one too strong for Ellen White.
Yeah, if you look at that, just sort of snatching a little bit, but Ellen White she just managed to get a little toe on the end of it there. Did well there, Claire Rafferty.
22-year-old left back with an impeccably timed challenge. Forward by Horton.
So I think Jennifer Beattie may get a little bit frustrated with those type of ball. I think if you get the ball into her feet, you know, and then she can sort of lay it back to the midfielders and then get a strike, but managed to get a corner out of it.
Flaherty. Faye White also forward.
Yeah, see whether they put it under the keeper's nose here and attack it quite far out.
Good delivery. Very good hand by Carly Telford.
Yeah, she was up to the challenge. I thought that's what they might do at some point, but Carly was up to the challenge, and a great corner. She puts in great ball, Rachel Yankee. Just the touch that was necessary.
Trouble still isn't over for Chelsea. Kim Little is going to deliver this one. Near post, and again the goalkeeper Carly Telford first to it. Good strong punch.
She's definitely living up to her reputation as a good young goalkeeper, and she plays well in big games. I think that's key. FA Cup final a couple of years ago, she was the man of the match, player of the match, should I say. And but she's a good young player, and I think England are looking to the future for her.
Former teammate, of course, of Steph Horton and Ellen White as well. These players know each other so well. Not too much to choose between them at the moment. Little. Dispossessed by Morwood.
Kim Little's struggling to get the ball under control, but you see Chelsea are at her nibbling away at her while she's got the ball, and she's not going to be able to play as well, you know, if that's going to happen, so they're closing down well.
Rachel Yankee on the move on the right-hand side. Did well to keep it in. Away by Leanne Champ. Fair challenge by Horton. And breakdown in communication between Champ and Buitt. They're all friends at the end of it. Horton. Flaherty, just 19 years of age. Ellen White and Rachel Yankee have just switched sides temporarily.
Yeah, just puts a different dimension to their game if they're cutting inside on their stronger feet, and I think that's what Arsenal do quite a lot of the time.
Here's Buitt. And then cleared by Grant. And then by Horton. Chelsea, I'm sure, would have wanted to negotiate the first 20 minutes without conceding. They've virtually reached that target.
Yeah, it's pretty even, and you can see the sort of quality that Arsenal have got going forward. But you know, Chelsea are doing well, and they're creating things in the final third.
Arsenal have a free kick. Another set play for Chelsea to defend. In from Yankee. Still come to Ellen White. Excellent block by Champ. Little. Faye White's header. hooked away brilliantly by Davis. And Ellen White was off balance. Chelsea still haven't got this clear. And finally into the arms of Carly Telford.
Yeah, a little bit rushed, the play, and hopefully that'll get better as the game goes on. Players who have the experience to play with a little bit more composure, just, you know, it's a big occasion for them, and I think that once they settle down a little bit, the game will sort of progress, but I don't think the pitch is helping with that either.
Excellent backing today. Including some familiar faces in the crowd. Tommy Walsh, ground force fame.
What he thinks of the pitch.
Chapman.
I think when you come on, yeah, that shows 50-50 that, you know, what we've seen, and, you know, I think when you come and play against Arsenal, you have to put them under pressure on the ball, because the more time that you give them on the ball, they're great players, and, you know, Laura, you know, coaches them to play with freedom and fluidity, and that's what they do. So I think the more pressure you put under, you know, the more likely they're going to make mistakes. Chelsea have done all right.
Sophie Perry. Well read by Faye White. Little, just too strong for Beattie.
Yeah, it does hurt when you run into Faye White. I think the hand chap knows that from Arsenal days gone by. It's a little bit disappointed, but she'll get on the ball a little bit more, and you see her quality shine through.
Over Flaherty. Faye White again. In her 15th season with Arsenal ladies. 10 titles, 26 major honours. And 5 years ago, an MBE.
Yeah, she's a great role model. She's a good captain, and she's been a great player, and she still is. And I think it's testament to her that she gets the MBE, and, you know, she helps in the development of the game. And for young girls who are just starting off, she's good to look up to.
That's one of many reasons why the launch and hopefully the development of the Women's Super League is going to be important. Faye White was making that point earlier in the week, that when she was young, she didn't have a female role model to look to. And as you say, now they have so many.
Yeah, no, you sort of wish, I always say that, I wish that I was sort of starting out playing now, but, you know, you look at players like me, players like Faye, they're the pioneers, you know. We were playing when hardly anybody else played, and now, you know, you sort of look at it, and we paved the way for all this. She, you know, she was the type of player who does that, and she's still playing in it, which is lucky for her.
Well, she and her teammates have some defending to do from this Chelsea corner. It was comfortably done in the end. Back in by Bird, away by Beattie.
Good challenge there by Julie Flaherty. I think she might have got the last touch on that, but I don't think she's so sure. But she's only young, and she's played in so many different positions along the back four for Arsenal. She's experienced.
She'll take her place in the Champions League semi-final. She's missed the last 3 through suspension. She was sent off earlier in the campaign against Rayo Vallecano. Fresh legs for Arsenal today. Header from Beattie. Forward by Bonner.
Yeah, I think Steph Horton had the same thing there. The ball wobbled just before she kicked it then. But it's nice to see, from my point of view, a personal point of view, so many ex-Leeds players on the pitch, and, you know, and doing well. These are young players who are developing in the game, and, you know, they're going to be England internationals as, you know, as the game develops, and, you know, and taking this Pro League forward.
Big day for the women's game. Big year, of course. World Cup year as well. England's women beating the United States a couple of weeks ago by 2-1, who we should point out, Lucy, are the #1 ranked team in the world at the moment.
Yeah, they are. I watched the game, and England did extremely well. I mean, they played extremely well attacking-wise in the first half, and then defended well in the second half, and that's what it's all about, being a top team internationally. And, you know, it seems to have the bit between the teeth and being able to compete with these top teams.
Champ. Good defending by Bonner. Rafferty. And this touch was a good one as well. It's in towards Hinks. Just senseless that Chelsea are growing in belief as the minutes go by.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they'll have settled down, they won't be feeling as nervous, and now they're thinking, hang on, we can have a go at these, and if we can get the ball up into that final third, then we can ask questions of Arsenal, and that's what they're doing.
Morwood looking for Perry on the overlap, just a touch too strong in the end for Sophie Perry.
Yeah, she's a little bit disappointed with that. She wanted to run into a path, but just eluded Sophie Perry at the last moment.
Solid header by Morwood, flicked on by Hinks. Is Lander in here? Just temporarily goal side of Grant. Cross from Lander was a useful one. Needed watching by Faye White.
It's a great ball in, it just needed attacking. You know, I thought you've just got to anticipate that it's going to arrive. I think that's the thing, and I don't think the players in the middle did, but great work from Helen Lander.
Sophie Perry with the throw. And then with the cross. Good defending by Horton. Needed to be. Danny Bird was right behind her. And Arsenal looking to break. In towards Little, only found Davis. Flaherty. Just weighing up the options, there weren't too many of them.
I think that's the last place I'd want if I was Faye White. She, you know, it's a bit bobbly, and she just plays it back to her, and she's telling Julie Flaherty exactly what she thinks, and she's telling the strikers they need to move so she can pass it to him, and that's a prerogative of the centre half.
Long from White, finds Rachel Yankee. Touch from Little, not quite strong enough for Flaherty, but Arsenal get a throw. Yankee, well dispossessed by Hewitt. Look at the work rate of Rachel Yankee to win it back for Arsenal, and only temporarily. Some enthusiasm and energy out there at the moment. That's oval Faye White. Gathered in the end by Emma Byrne.
Nearly opened up wide for Ashley Hinks there, but she just couldn't quite get hold of the ball. But you know, Chelsea a little bit more confident, but they've always a threat of Arsenal on the attack because they've got strong players going forward who can score goals, as proved.
Free kick goes Arsenal's way. Should point out as well, when we're talking about the Champions League, that the champions and the runners-up in the Women's Super League will qualify for next season's Champions League. So, as well as the title, there's a huge carrot dangled there for these 8 teams.
Yeah, that's a great incentive because that's where you want to play Europe, just like any other player of football. They want to play in the Champions League, the top leagues.
Hinks dispossessed by Chapman.
Yeah, it's the type of job that Katie Chapman does unnoticed. Not really unnoticed, but the dirty work of the team, just dispossessing, breaking up play, and she's very, very good at it.
Kira Grant, captain of Ireland. Arsenal's 2 centre-halves, the Republic of Ireland captain and the England captain. They've got more defending to do here. Really good tracking back by Steph Horton.
Yeah, Steph did well there, and I don't think Emma Byrne thought if she'd have picked that up then it would have been deemed a back pass, and it's not worth that. So she's just kicked it out into row B, I think, didn't get as far as Z.
Rafferty's throw. Crosses too deep. Well, we've had almost half an hour of the opening game of the new Women's Super League. Let's get a word with the Chelsea manager, Matt Beard. Matt, you must be very pleased so far.
Yeah, it's not been a bad start. I was a bit worried after the first 5 minutes because it looked like we didn't settle quick enough, but we've got into our stride, and I'm quite pleased with things as we speak at the moment.
Yeah. So what are your plans moving forward then, Max? I think you've done really well.
Just to keep playing as we are, just don't let them settle on the ball, and you know, just to keep playing really. I mean, I think the gap with the bridge with the players and the standard now is closed, and we wasn't million miles away from last year, and I'm pleased with what we've added. So I'm pleased with how it's going, but there's still a long way to go yet.
Matt, thank you very much indeed.
No problem.
Chelsea free kick. Faye White's header, and then cleared by Chapman. Katie Chapman once more, who's recently retired from the England fold after 82 caps. The referee deemed that a fair challenge as well by Fahy. Finally poised at the moment.
It is, and I think this is the way that the FA looked at how they wanted to do it. They wanted to make sure there was enough talent in each team that made every game competitive, and I think that's exactly what's happened. And you know, it's good for both teams.
Now that was a strong charge.
That's got to be Leanne Champ. Leanne Champ is a tough competitor, and you know that's what Arsenal will expect from her. And she doesn't take any prisoners, and they're not taking Ellen White as a prisoner there. I mean, it's a strong. I think her feet. Yeah, she just followed through, didn't she? That's a strong challenge. I don't think I'd like to be on the end of that one, but I have been on the end of a few of those Leanne Champ challenges, I have to say. Still got the bruises.
7 years an Arsenal player, pumped up against her former club today. And it leaves Arsenal with this free kick. It's a congested penalty area. Delivered by Horton. Too close to Carly Telford.
Yeah, that's what you needed. You know, that all too often in years gone by, keepers have been, you know, people talk about the keepers not being very good in women's football, but it's not the case now, and you've got strong players like Carly Telford and Emma Byrne, and you know, they do really well commanding their area.
That was Leanne Champ diving in again. It's Yankee for Arsenal. Little beaten to it. This is Beattie. Rafferty just managed to get the foot in.
I mean, they defended all right, Chelsea. I think the scoreline suggests that as well, and they've just got to keep it tight, I think, until half-time, and then, you know, Matt will have a chat with them to see what he wants to go from there, and, you know, he will have different scenarios depending on what was going to be happening at half-time, so he'll be pleased so far, as we heard.
Good ball in again. Beattie just couldn't quite get on the end of it.
Yeah, Jennifer Beattie's probably a little bit frustrated that the ball's not being given to her where she wants it, but that was an opportunity.
Flaherty. Champ mopping up. Would have been many in the women's game. We certainly would have expected Arsenal to have scored by now.
Yeah, it's good to see. It's an attack here.
They might do now, though. It's Yankee. Good defending by Sophie Perry. Arsenal get a corner in the end. She got back quickly, though. Yeah,
she did. She's a quick fullback. She plays either right or left, but it's very difficult to keep up with Rachel Yankee, who, you know, has created a corner for her team. And she got in front of her, but I mean, it's difficult to get back to Yankee, but she did it, and you know, I can't really see who got the last touch on that, but obviously Carly Telford thought it was her player.
Here comes the Arsenal corner, then short this time! And Chelsea's resistance is broken.
Yeah, I think from there, the ball comes in, and I think the key thing there is Arsenal player at the near post stepped over the ball. As soon as that, then it ends up in your 6-yard box, and the quickest to react was Julie Flaherty. By looking at it, if you look over here, I think it was Ellen White that jumped over it. That's a great finish, outside of the foot. As soon as it lands in that no-man's area there, he's struggling, and Julie Flaherty was the first to react. Great finish. Good technique.
The teenager scores the first goal of the new Women's Super League. It falls Arsenal's way. And they've had to be patient. It's taken them almost 35 minutes. The champions of the Premier League in the last 7 seasons are in front.
I suppose that's how many people thought the game would go, but you know, Arsenal have been patient and with the build-up, and you know, been a little bit frustrated in the final third and not being able to beat Carly Telford. But I think as soon as the ball drops in the 6-yard box, then you've got to be the first to it as a defender, and it just didn't happen. And well done, Gilly Flaherty.
Their second goal of this season in their 7th game.
There should be a quiz question in the future now, won't she?
Just about to say that. She will have the honour of scoring the first ever goal in the FA Women's Super League. Chelsea had hard chances to do that prior to the finish from Flaherty. Now the test is a different one for Chelsea.
Yeah, it is. I think too many times teams will come against a team like Arsenal and not expect to be beaten, but expect to have a hard game, and sometimes psychologically that's tough. But see how Chelsea cope with that. You know, Gilly Flaherty scored a good goal, and you know, and Chelsea have still got to believe that they can come back into the game because they created the chances. And I'm sure Matt's not too worried because I think his team's done well.
Referee's given a foul throw, I think, there. Davis. Perry. Pushes that back to her goalkeeper.
Chelsea shouldn't be that despondent. They just need to keep going and keep doing what they're doing. They don't really need to do that much different. They've defended quite well apart from that corner, and they've attacked well as well.
Disappointing ball from Little. Followed by Davis for Chelsea. Ashley Hinks on the chase. Faye White always the favourite. Awkward one for the goalkeeper.
Again, Chelsea done the right thing, and you know, and put Emma Byrne under pressure, put the defenders under pressure, and you know, not make it easy for them, and they ended up with a throw-in.
That's come through to Landa. Well, that was an inviting delivery from Helen Landa.
Yeah, she could have done with crossing it and then getting on the end of it herself. She's done extremely well for Chelsea. I think she's probably one of their better players, and you know, it looks like she can get the ball in front of goal. I think she'll score.
Good response though from Chelsea. Mitchell Yankee can't keep that one in.
Yeah, unlucky Yankee there. She's done well against Sophie Perry, but you've got to have your wits about you for 90 minutes against Yankee, because she's quick and skillful, and she can get past you.
So Carly Telford finally beaten in the Chelsea goal. That's the FA Cup final 3 years ago to Arsenal with Leeds.
It's mine.
And we point your direction of a big Sunday on ESPN. Hibs Hamilton from the SPL from 11 in HD. He's followed exclusively by the FA Cup semi-final from Wembley from 2:30 as Bolton play Stoke. Ellen White for Arsenal to make it 2-0 up against Telford, and Chelsea survive.
That was a great ball through. As you're going to watch the replay in a minute, Ellen White does an incredible run, which is what she usually plays through the centre. And if you watch her run, she just run off the centre half here. Great ball through. One-on-one. I think she took it a little bit too wide past Carly Telford, but determined defending there. Wasn't going to go. Determined defending anyway, and Carly Telford did a job. Unlucky Ellen White. Just a little bit too wide there. Kylie Davis, excellent defending.
Former Chelsea player, almost making it 2-0. 21-year-old Ellen White.
I think the key for Chelsea here now is to not concede another one before half-time, and you know, they've done really well, and I think a second goal for Arsenal will probably, you know, be a little bit harsh on Chelsea, but you know, Ellen White will score goals for fun. She's proved.
Already has 4 in 9 this season. Can Chelsea conjure anything up from this? Buick with the delivery. Solid header away by Faye White to find Ellen White. Now Chapman. Keep it in. Chelsea throw.
Chelsea, you see from there, Chelsea have always got to be thinking about the what-if scenarios. What if we lose it when we've got all those players forward, and they've got the centre midfielders have got to be disciplined, that they've got to prepare for that counter-attack. I know that sounds sort of counter, but or negative, but you know they don't want to concede on the counter-attack when they're doing so well going forward.
Laura Harvey offering her encouragement. She's currently the assistant coach of the England under-19s as well.
I think it's been a good half season. I mean, Hope Power's looking on, and a lot of her players are playing her senior players, and she has a handle on all the age groups at England, and you know it's her vision and what's going on with the younger age groups that's created a good senior team.
Marwood back to Rafferty, and she in turn goes all the way back to her goalkeeper Carly Telford. It was an awkward one for her, and Davis now needs to deal with this, and does.
Great pass. I don't think Gary Davis will think so though.
Beattie was fouled by Buick. It's not really the surface for back passes of those fashions.
No, it's not, because it just puts the keeper under pressure. I just think you've just got to get the ball, you know, in areas where you're not going to put yourselves under pressure.
Kim Little to deliver the Arsenal free kick. Important that Chelsea stand firm here now.
You see again, that's good defending from a set piece. A good ball in as well. Good header away. Claire Rafferty again gets it away on the left hand side, but concedes a throw in.
Walton's throw. It's it back from Little, not too tidily. Kira Grant to deal with this for Arsenal. Danny Bird. Yankee. Jimmy Flaherty, the goal scorer. Nice touch from Ellen White. She's gone for the return as well. Chapman might make it. Riley Davis first to it.
Yeah, good neat and tidy build-up. Arsenal sort of getting into the stride now, which is a little bit ominous for Chelsea, but stay firm at the back. You know, and I think some of the ball forward from Chelsea now is getting a little bit too rushed and just trying to...
In from Flaherty. The offside flag was up on the far side.
Julie will be happy with her goal, even though she's had a telling off from Faye White along the way in the first half. It should be pleased with that.
Made her Arsenal debut at 15. Julie Flaherty. As I say, she's still not 20.
Yeah.
Frightening some of the experience these girls have.
Well, it is when they're playing in Europe and playing, you know, and winning, in playing in FA Cup finals and you know, winning leagues and stuff. It's excellent for them.
That came off Fahy. Now Little. Champ again with the challenge for Chelsea. Ellen White has two players around her. It's gone Arsenal's way as we go into the last minute of normal time at the end of the first half. Well defended again by Chelsea. Or perhaps will Matt Beard be looking to say at half-time, Lucy?
Well, I think he'll sort of say you've defended well and you need to defend the set pieces a little bit better, but going forward maybe a little bit more sort of guile in the final third, and because they've got the players who can score, and they started well, but I think they have, they have chances to score. It's not as if we're looking at us and think, well, they're never going to score. They actually have the players up there, but it's just creating that bit, and that's obviously the most difficult bit: scoring the goals, creating and scoring the goals. But maybe putting the two centre halves of Arsenal under a little bit more pressure, not in the air, because they're going to win everything in the air.
I was mentioning those previous 15 meetings between these two clubs. As we see, there'll be just one more minute to add on at the end of the first half. Arsenal have won all 15, scored 55 goals in the process. Chelsea in those 15 matches only managed 10. They need one today. Cleared by Yankee. Warner can't keep that in.
Probably better putting that back forward back into the mix again, because she can't trust this bounce as it lands, and now they've put themselves under pressure.
Final few seconds of the first half. Grant. Oh, she's given that away. Now can Chelsea conjure something up with the very last action? Landa. And back helping out was Fahy. They still haven't got it clear, Arsenal. Buitt.
Yeah, a little bit ambitious from Dan Buitt, but you can see they're getting the players up as they're attacking, and it needs to drop. But okay, half Chelsea-wise, but Arsenal will be happy they're in front.
Most expected Arsenal to be in front. And courtesy of Gilly Flaherty, they are, but they certainly haven't had it all their own way. It hasn't been as straightforward and as comfortable as many predicted. Chelsea have made the champions of the Premier League in the last 7 years, worked very hard for it. But Gilly Flaherty with the first goal in the new Women's Super League. And it will be Arsenal leading by a goal to nil from Gilly Flaherty to get us underway in the second half. The team favourites for the new Women's Super League, leading Chelsea by a goal to nil. But Chelsea encouraged, new look Chelsea, by their first half display. But as we've just been chatting, Lucy, I think it's going to be pivotal who scores next in this game.
Yeah, I think Matt Lawler definitely had a word with his players about they have to not concede in the first sort of 10 or 15 minutes of the second half, and I can see Chelsea getting the next goal, and like you say, Steve, that'll be key, because I think it may kill the game at 2-0, but Chelsea is still in it as it stands.
No changes from either side, incidentally, understandably so from a Chelsea point of view. Steph Horton with the throw. She'll get a second opportunity after the interception from Rafferty. Norwood. Chelsea still haven't got this clear, headed by Ellen White, but a foul by Ellen White. Top scorer in every season when she was at Chelsea between 2005 and 2008, another one who headed to Leeds.
Yeah, she came up to Leeds and unfortunately tore a cruciate in her knee, and then she came back as I was in my sort of last season. But she's a good player, and when she came back in training, you could tell that she was going to be a top player and that she would eventually end up at a team like Arsenal.
21 years of age. Got an opportunity to make it 2-0 at the end of the first half as well. England international, the last of her 13 caps in that victory over the USA a couple of weeks ago. I suppose one of the things you learn when you join Arsenal, the management team install, you are there to be shot at. It's everybody's cup final.
Yeah, you're the team that everybody wants to beat, and if you're not part of Arsenal, then you support the team that are playing Arsenal, and that's how it goes. That's a credit to them, because people are jealous of success and want to beat you, and that's the way it is. So it's because they're good that people are like that. But they've lived with it. I don't mind living with that either. It's quite good.
Curtis down now for Chelsea.
What happened there was challenging Yankee, and I don't know whether Yankee took not on purpose, but I think she rolled on the ball a little bit, so I don't know whether she's hurt her ankle.
Skipper Kylie Davis looking for Landa. That spectacular effort in the first half. Led by Grant. Arsenal trying to time their run. It's Ellen White.
So they ended up there with Helen Lander isolated, then losing the ball, and then Arsenal coming forward in draws. And you see Ellen White will make those runs, you know, just on the shoulder of the centre half or the left back, and they've just got to be careful of that, Chelsea, while they're moving forward for the equaliser. Try and ensure that the centre halves for Chelsea have got the players in front of them and they can see them and they can track them. You know, as soon as Ellen White disappears over your shoulder, then you've had it as a centre half. So, you know, Gemma Bonner and Kylie Davis will be well aware of that.
It is Gemma Bonner who takes the Chelsea free kick. Touch from Chapman. Now Beattie. Again, Chelsea pushed up, looking for offside there.
Yeah, it's a dodgy game to play that sometimes when you play high, because, you know, the likes of Arsenal will probably sort of run through with it or pass a clever pass through, but that's a challenge by Danny Beauty. She's asking what's wrong, but I think she ended up nearly knocking Gilly Flighty out of her, I think. Strong challenge, I'll say. I think they clashed heads a little bit. Because Danny Bewitt's a little bit smaller, I think she caught her just on her chin.
She's okay from her earlier knock. And the Arsenal goal scorer just checking there's no blood. That's Beattie, away by Bonner. And forward by Danny Bird. Strong jump by Champ. Chelsea will be still satisfied that they're very much in this game. Last meeting between these two a year ago. The FA Cup semi-final, it was 4-0 to Arsenal.
There just seems to be a gap, which is ball through. There just seems to be a gap between the forwards for Chelsea now and the midfield catching up, and that may deepen as the game progresses. That's good play again, but I mean they've been solid, you know, apart from the goal and the defending at the corner. Chelsea have been pretty solid at the back, but now they've just got to maybe as the second half goes along, take a few more chances. But with that obviously comes the threat of a counter from Arsenal, so it's definitely still finely balanced.
No changes to either of the starting lineups at the beginning of the second half. Here's Lander. Hewitt demanded it. She kept it in as well. Forward by Perry. Trying to find Hinks. Chelsea still have it with Lander.
Yeah, Chelsea trying to draw out the likes of Faye White and Kira Grant and try and isolate them a little bit, but that was a little bit better.
One kick upfield for Little to chase. Well dealt with by Kylie Davis.
So it was a little bit dodgy when you let it bounce, but she did well in the end, Davis.
It's just one league game last season. 5 years at the club, having moved from Fulham. She's influential as well as anything else apart for Chelsea.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, you look at Chelsea and they're predominantly a young side, and so they've looked to a captain like Kylie to sort of settle them down a little bit. Lots of experience, but, you know, no real sort of... They did have Casey Stoney, who since moved to Lincoln, and, you know, she was a big gap to fill, but Kylie Davis looks like she's well capable of filling that gap.
Lincoln, of course, playing later on against Doncaster Bells, and Everton Liverpool tomorrow. This is Ellen White. That's a good ball in, and Yankee was very nearly on the end of it. Chelsea managed to get it away. Cleared by Emma Byrne, the Arsenal goalkeeper. Good jump by Beattie. Ellen White. Beattie's gone down. Rachel Yankee plays on. takes on Perry, beats Perry. Cross almost find Ellen White, back in from Chapman. And then away by Champ. Arsenal turning up the pressure. Beattie back on her feet and back on the ball and going for goal.
Yeah, the game getting a little bit more stretched now, and you know, and Arsenal are sort of on the front foot, but you know, they've got to keep defending Chelsea. I think that you see from here, Ellen White is just going to come more and more into the game. Jennifer Beattie had she could see the power in the shot, but you know, it needs the accuracy. But Ellen White's coming into the game, and she's a proper, what I would call a proper centre forward. Even though she's playing sort of wide right today, she plays in the England team now, because I think that's what England's missed since Karen Walker retired, a big strong centre forward, you know, that scores goals, that heads it, that holds it up, and you know, brings others into play. And as she gets older, I think she'll be a force to be reckoned with, and definitely one of the mainstays of the England squad as they move forward.
Rafferty. She's under pressure there from Ellen White. Fahy wins it back for Arsenal. Forward by Horton. Lander. Just run into Chapman. Rachel Yankee, one of only 3 players to pass 100 caps for England. That's the experienced player, 31 years of age now. There's 33-year-old Faye White.
Yeah, and it's no age really, and she's just been both been playing for years, and at the top level, and have been consistently top performers, you know, for the club side and for England. I think they'll be playing for a few years more as well.
Goes without saying, they'll be crucial figures in the World Cup in Germany in the summer.
Absolutely. I mean, you go into a World Cup and you have a core of experienced players and maybe a couple of youngsters, but those two will definitely be a key part of the squad.
Arsenal warmed up for the launch of this new league last month with 2 Champions League quarter-finals, 2 FA Cup ties as well. Here's Lander for Chelsea. Really good turn. Cleared by Grant. And now Kim Little. Ellen White's made the run. Didn't reach her.
She had a few options there, Kim, and I think she chose the wrong one. I think she thought Yankee was steaming forward a little bit quicker than that.
Another challenge by Leanne Champ, and it's one the referee deems a fair one, and Chelsea play on.
That's a cruncher. Oh, dear me.
Horton allowed to bring it forward now, right back. Bonner in the way. Steph Horton once more. Gemma Bonner again, the Chelsea player with the clearance. Chapman and Buick. It's just getting a little tasty out there.
Yeah, I think somebody just got champed. I think I was coined a new phrase. You've just been champed. But you know, she's a strong player, Katie Chapman. But Dan Buick did well there, keeping up with her. And I think in the end that ended up 50-50. I don't know how she chose which way that free kick was going to go.
Annie Buick, another ex-Arsenal player, looking to make a mark against their former club today. They've more defending to do here. They do it with Davis. Back to Buick. Backing away with Yankee. Hinks. Can this lead to anything for Chelsea? Champ takes over. Now Buick.
Just need to keep the ball moving, Chelsea. That's better.
Well kept in by Morwood. Chelsea get a throw. Just seem to be in Arsenal's faces a little more in the second half, don't they?
Yeah, and I think as the challenges are flying in, it'll get a little bit more tasty, and then the atmosphere will raise, and I think that's what Chelsea will want, because they'll want to sort of rattle Arsenal a little bit and try and create a chance for themselves.
Blew it. It's gone Chelsea's way. To the goal scorer, and it's still her goal. The 35 minutes that separates these two on this landmark day for women's football. Chelsea want to remember it for all the right reasons. Lander just trying to turn away from Faye White.
She's done well, Helen Lander. That's 2 good turns she did. A few minutes ago she turned with the ball and had a shot. But, you know, she's got a good touch, and she just kills the ball dead as it comes to her. And you know, I think you just give her half a chance, and I think she may score. And it's just getting that way. It looks a little bit ominous, but it's difficult to get past Faye White, which Helen's finding.
She actually scored for Arsenal against Chelsea only last season. Helen Lander trying to reverse that statistic today. Yankee wins the free kick for Arsenal.
Just stepped across Rachel's path then. She's trying to run with it. Yeah. A little bit of a shoulder. She has a few of them in her career, I think, as a tricky winger.
Concentration time for Chelsea again. That's Leanne Champ with Jennifer Beattie. In from Little. Goalkeeper didn't get that, and Chelsea survive. It's hooked away by Danny Bird.
Callie Telford was saying that she was fouled by Faye White. I think if you look at it, she had a couple round her. Now usually goalkeepers get those decisions and didn't this time. Well protected usually, but not that time.
Flatty's throw, gets it back from Little. Goes down by Buick.
Faye White stayed up there. See if they can deliver a ball into the box.
And they failed to do so. And Chelsea throw. They're keen to get on with things. Touched by Hinks. And they wanted it early. Rafferty goes on the overlap. This is Danny Bird. Norwood. Nice little back heel from her. Almost came off as well. Chelsea with a spring in their step.
Yeah, it's a little bit of build-up, please. Be a little bit precise with the passing. Maybe just put the ball in a space, because they can get down the sides of the centre halves and in between the full-back and the centre half. Passing a little bit too, trying to be too precise.
Jennifer Beattie there, who comes from a real sporting family north of the border. She's the daughter of the former British Lions rugby union player John Beattie, and her brother Johnny, a current Scottish international. She's only 19 years of age.
She looks a really strong girl, and she deals very well with the physical side of it. Again, I think this taller players in women's football usually do very well, because it's, you know, you sort of stand out a little bit. Being tall myself, but not quite as strong as Jennifer Beattie.
Champ couldn't get it from Yankee. Good challenge again by Kylie Davis. Hayley Morwood with the ball forward. Hinks, well, she hadn't seen Bird in an awful lot of space down the Chelsea left. It's Lander instead. Good run by Lander. She felt she was impeded.
Yeah, it looked a little bit like it, but I just feel like that Chelsea don't want Helen Lander out there with the ball. They want somebody else putting the ball in for her, or getting her running the channels. You know, she's creating things out wide, and you know, and then not many people in the middle for it. So better, but I don't think she was fouled there.
It's touched on by Beattie to Little. Forward for Chelsea. Horton.
Interested to see whether anybody makes any changes, Steve, whether Chelsea look to change it to try and get a goal back, or Arsenal to maybe rest a few players.
No joy there for Rafferty. This is Ellen White. Beattie, the offside flag was up. Frustration for Arsenal.
Ellen White knew what she was doing then, just wanted the 1-2 off Jennifer Vitovic. She just strayed offside, but that was good play by Chelsea there. They were all stood in a line and from the offside trap.
Gemma Bonner, from a Leeds player, the long ball forward, come out comfortably by Horton. Rescued by Kira Grant. You can see the frustration etched on her face.
Usually a little bit more comfortable scoreline at this stage in games, Arsenal, so particularly in the Premier League or the top leagues that they've been playing in the last few years.
I was just about to say, it's slightly unusual territory for them, isn't it?
In Europe it isn't, because they're tighter games, but you know, in the league and the sort of week-to-week games, they're usually only one goal in front.
Good ball by Yankee. Picks up Kim Little. It's an Arsenal throw.
Gemma Bonner's done well, like you said, an ex-Leeds teammate. I mean, she's come on leaps and bounds. She was a young player when I played centre-half next to her when necessary, and you know, I can see a real improvement in her. She's a young England international as well.
Bolton's throw. Away by Bird for Chelsea. Forward by Buick, away by Faye White. Rafferty left that to Carly Telford, the goalkeeper.
Did well there, Carly. She managed to get a touch off Ellen White as well and get her team a throw in. Confident young goalkeeper.
Rafferty's throw. Hinks. Quickly closed down by Katie Chapman. Tremendous play from her.
You see, she only looks slight, and you stand next to her on the pitch and you think, oh, you're all right. But she's as strong as a nut. She's really, really tough to play against, to get the ball off, and she's doing okay today.
Well watched by Emma Byrne. She can pick that up. Bonner again, first to it in the air for Chelsea. Chapman. Out to the goal scorer dispossessed. It's quite a battle between Gilly Flaherty and Danny Buick.
Yeah, I think that might be one of the reasons why Danny's playing on that side, to sort of put Gilly under pressure. But she's a strong player. She quite a lot of the time plays centre midfield, Danny Buick, but she's a strong competitor, and she gives them something there, a bit of toughness down that side.
Lifted forward by Horton, too strong for Ellen White. Chelsea find their way through. Can they create that one opportunity that they'd hope to take to try and get back on terms? No complaints about the commitment.
Absolutely, I think it's been a good game with the surface as well. It's a little bit of a leveller, but I think that Chelsea have come to the races, and I think they've done extremely well. And it's like 67 minutes, 66 minutes, then they're still in the game, and I think that's key. That's key for them.
Well, the first change of the game, with 23 minutes to go, is going to be made by Chelsea. They're going to take off Danny Bird and replace her with Lyra Fay, another ex-Arsenal player. She only left Arsenal in February. They made only one league appearance for them last season, just 17 years of age.
Yeah, I think what you find, Steve, is that they come through the Arsenal Academy, and then if they don't get the break into the first team, then they may as well go and play football elsewhere. That's, you know, like any footballer, just want to play football, and you know they have a good grounding. They come through the youth, and they coach well, and they produce good players, and you know they slot into other teams, as we see here.
Rafferty's gone to ground as Chelsea get the free kick.
Yeah, Steph just put her foot out. Yeah, simple foul, but good opportunity for Chelsea if they put the right ball in.
This is all about the delivery. Can they really test Arsenal here? Bonner forward, as we can see. It's a low one, and it's cut out by Horton.
See, I think these are key moments. Chelsea, if they've got these set pieces, then I'm sure they've practiced them, and you've just got to put a good ball in and attack it, and it just didn't happen there, but Steph Horton did well. You know, that might be the only chance, or the only chances they get to equalise, and, you know, the key.
Danny Buitt to deliver the resulting corner. It's the test a greater one this time for the Arsenal defence. Right underneath the goalkeeper. Very nearly all the way in.
I have a feeling that Emma Byrne just thought that was creeping over the top of her into the top corner, but that's a good corner. She's just trying to curl it round. It's not that far away, is it? But Emma Byrne, it looked like she thought that it was gonna go in the top corner, but luckily for Arsenal, it didn't.
Certainly had a scampering in the Republic of Ireland international, and that is Danny Buitt's. And she thought she was coming off. It's actually Arsenal's number that's up. And it's Jennifer Beattie, who's being replaced by Danny Carter, 17-year-old who actually played in France in the Champions League semi-final against Lyon.
I think you'll just see it, just a change in formation for Arsenal. Ellen White will go back to her familiar number 9 position up front by herself, and Danny Carter will come along the right-hand side. Quick player.
Here's Ellen White looking to find Carter straight away. Kylie Davis in the way. Rafferty for Chelsea. Taking on Fahy and beating her. Stopped in the end by Horton.
Just needed to release that a little bit earlier. She saw the run of forward there. She could have just played her in.
Carter went for the return from Little.
I'm not sure about the balls bouncing back for that back pass. Or Kylie Telford.
Perry's header for Chelsea. Inside the last 20 minutes, Chelsea still very much in this game. For many of their recent clashes with Arsenal hasn't been the case. Hinks.
It's a good play.
Now Sophie Perry. Buitt on the overlap. Can she get the cross in? She can! Lander! Rafferty! It just won't go in for Chelsea.
Oh, that's a great move by Chelsea, and in the end, Emma Byrne did well. Great move down the right-hand side, and the ball in from Danny Buitt. I didn't think she was going to hook a foot round it, but she managed to get to it just in front of Katie Chapman. She got a good touch to it, Helen Lander, but it just wouldn't fall for Claire Rafferty. Oh, she puts her head in the sand, she's gutted.
Ellen White at the other end, squeezed out of it by the 2 central defenders.
Great defending, Gemma Bonner there.
She's had an excellent game, Lucy.
She has, and you know she always had the potential to be a great centre half, and as a 16, 17-year-old playing in the Leeds team, and you know she can head it, and she's comfortable on the ball, and I think the modern centre half, that's how they need to play. They need to be able to be comfortable on the ball and you know sort of spray the passes around. But she's tall and she competes as well.
As we said at half-time, it still remains the case. The next goal, pivotal.
Absolutely, and I don't want to call it at this moment in time.
Kylie Telford read that situation very early.
It's just landed on my card.
It's not an expensive one, doesn't matter.
Cheers.
It was an important clearance from the Chelsea goalkeeper. Yankee.
Danny Buitt's done well as well. I think she's come more into the game as the game's gone along, and she's key defending there against Rachel Yankee. I think at this moment in time, Chelsea put enough pressure on here and grab a goal. I think this period now is when they'll do it.
Perry. Forward by Buick. Into Hinks. Lander just trying to touch that back to her strike partner.
Again, just not quite enough on. Just not accurate enough, but the signs are there for Chelsea.
And Matt Beard must be encouraged.
Yeah, he's writing his shopping list down at the moment. It's either that or what he's going to do next. But yeah, I think he's still going to be positive.
For a Chelsea ladies match. Thank you for your great support at the moment.
All the way back to Emma Byrne. A reminder of your way to get involved if you'd like to vote for your player of the match from this evening's game. Go to the website or the Facebook page, just above your screen there, and any mobile device. 4 nominated, get voting now. Yankee taking on Chelsea defence. Lara Fay got back, the substitute.
I'm coping quite well with Rachel Yankee because she's a tricky player to mark because she's quick and she moves the ball quick. She runs with the ball very quickly as well. They're doing all right at the moment.
It's over Ellen White, away by Davis. Rafferty, who had that chance for Chelsea, just playing a little further forward after the substitution.
Yeah, well, I think you can see from the fact that she's got number 11 on her back that she's more of an attacking player, but I think she has played at left back for England when she's been with the seniors and the younger squads, but she's good technically and good going forward, so that may be an option.
Another change for Chelsea with just over a quarter of an hour to go. Ashley Hicks, who's done a lot of running up there, takes a rest. 19-year-old Becky Jane, former Fulham player, comes on.
Another quick player for Arsenal to deal with. You know, and changes probably at the right time for Matt Beard, and he's looking to sort of shake it up the game a little bit because they need the goal.
Still finely poised as Flaherty takes the throw for Arsenal. We've had a big week, of course, with the travelling to France. That Champions League semi-final with Lyon. That's Ellen White. Comfortable for Carly Telford.
Just didn't get hold of it right. Ellen got herself into a good position.
Carter. Good tracking back by Rafferty. Still came to Little though, but Steph Poulton in an offside position.
Again, Chelsea defending well, and I mean, Claire Rafferty, she's quick. She got back while Danny Carter was dwelling on the ball, but Steph just ventured a little bit offside. Reminder, Sunday's a huge day on ESPN from the SPL. Hibs against Hamilton in HD as well from 11. And following that live from Wembley exclusively, the FA Cup semi-final from 2:30 as Bolton meet Stoke, also in HD. It's a Chelsea throw. Have they the belief they can go and get something from this game? I mean, you would think so. I mean, there's only one goal in it, and you know, it might be a mistake, it might be a set piece, it might just be good build-up play, but you've got to have the belief that you're going to do it, and they've got the players to do it anyway.
Yankee. Arsenal still a threat on the break. Here by Bonner. Carter with Morwood. Horton. Forward by Bonner for Chelsea. Good job by Grant. Bonner tried to usher that out of play, and in the end she had to play it.
Yeah, it's better over the line than it is losing it down there, so she did well in the end.
Tough testing week for Arsenal. That second leg, 2-0 down against Lyon in the Champions League semi-final to come on Saturday. And to go into that victory, an inaugural game in this league. Excellent cross from Horton. Just a little too strong for an Arsenal teammate to apply the touch.
Yeah, good play by Ellen White there. Great touch on the goal line. Pass it back to Horton. She put the ball in, but nobody on the end of it, and then it ends up running out of play.
Becky Jane putting Faye White under pressure. Flaherty, the goal scorer, is down for Arsenal. Looks in some pain.
Yeah, just that was strong. She doesn't look happy though, does she? I don't know whether it's something in her knee or the way she landed. Don't like to see that, because when it's sort of innocuous like that, that's when she felt it straight away. Whether it was it might have been a right knee.
This is worrying for Flaherty and for Laura Harvey.
Sometimes you can just tell the way that players go down, particularly when it's not in a challenge. She grabbed hold of her knee before she'd even reached the floor. It's not good to see.
Well, the supporters have come into all areas today to see the launch of the FA Women's Super League.
It's not that much to get in, is it, that you can't come in and pay? I can't believe that. Are they Arsenal fans as well? Oh no, there's a Chelsea fan as well.
A real family occasion. And it's great to see Lucy as well.
It is, because I've seen a lot of young men, young girls about, mums, dads, aunties, uncles, and it's everybody. It's not just one type. But it's good for the young girls to see this, because this is their future if they want to play.
So Arsenal are temporarily down to 10. Julie Flaherty still receives treatment. Front of the dugout area there.
It looks like she's treating her for cramp there, but she's getting to her feet.
Well, that's a welcome sight. Flaherty just checking she's okay to continue. Well, great news for Arsenal. And for Flaherty is she's back on, and they're restored to 11.
That might have been a horrific bout of cramp there, just as she's just holding her leg. I thought she was holding her knee. I don't like seeing that.
Fahy, comfortable for Carly Telford. Quickly delivered by the Chelsea goalkeeper. It came off Horton. Lander trying to get on the end of it. Just ran away from her.
Yeah, I thought Emma Byrne was going to come out there then and grasp it, and it just seemed to hold up a little bit, fell Lander, and then ran away. But Steph tried to get a head on it, Steph Horton, but it just did enough to run away to the goalkeeper.
Will there be a few tired legs in the Arsenal ranks now, Lucy?
Yeah, there's a chance that these girls are fit. That's the thing, and and match fit. But I'm sure there will be, and maybe Laura will be looking to put more players on. Not more players on, obviously, replacing players.
Good challenge by Horton. Long way out, Bewitt. And died in the end.
Challenge by Steph. She seems to be arguing with one of the Chelsea players about that challenge, but
Reminder, you can get involved now to vote for your player of the match via the ESPN website. You can visit the Facebook and the FA Women's Super League pages, or any of the mobile routes as well. Get involved. 4 candidates. Register your vote. inside 8 minutes remaining. Matt Beard, the Chelsea manager, offers more encouragement. The team that finished third in the Premier League last season, just 1 point behind second place Everton. They were fully 12 behind Arsenal. 22 games in that division. Remember, 14 to play in this new FA Women's Super League.
Chelsea have nothing to lose now going forward. I mean, you know, they could grab an equaliser or they could go down 2-0. That's, you know, they may as well go for it at this late stage.
Hewitt, good challenge by Yankee. Who did that come off last? It was a Chelsea player.
We're glad to see that, the linesman, assistant referee.
No one more proud today than Vic Akers, the man who founded Arsenal Ladies back in 1987, the kit manager of Arsenal. 22 years in charge, and in that time he led Arsenal to 32 major honours. And not just pleased for Arsenal today, but pleased for the new platform for the women's game, because he's played such a big part in it, Lucy.
Yeah, he has. He's been there right from the start, obviously, and he made Arsenal Ladies what they are today. And you know, he'll just like every other supporter of women's football for years. This has been years coming, this Super League, and you know, he'll sit here and think, well, I'm glad it's happened now because it should have happened 10 years ago or plus. But yeah, he's one of the ones who definitely are part of the development of it.
But he and the other Arsenal staff can't sit comfortably just yet, with just the 1 goal separating them, heading towards the last 5 minutes. Laura Harvey in her first full season in charge, but she has been at Arsenal for 3 years now in a coaching capacity. Hoping to start the new Super League with an Arsenal victory. Beard knows time is ticking away from Chelsea. Yankee. Ellen White chasing. Kylie Davis across.
Kylie Davis is not the tallest for a centre-half, but she positions herself really well, and she sort of sweeps up around there and waits for those balls coming in. She's defended well.
Flaherty with the throw. Champ. She was dispossessed there, though, by Chapman. It came back to Yankee with the long-range effort.
Yeah, I think you can see there Liam Chapman's dwelled on it a little bit too long. Ended up coming out to Yankee. Has got a good strike on her, but just not quite on target. Tries for a bit of power, I think, rather than placement.
5 goals in 9 games already this season for Rachel Yankee. That's Little looking for Ellen White. Corner had to play it.
Done well again. Gemma Bond is a difficult person to play against, Ellen White, and she's done well since she's moved to the centre.
Still they believe, still they hope, Chelsea, that they can take something from this match. They might need something special now. Champ. Long from Bonner. Good header by Rafferty. Now Morwood. Hewitt. Support from Faye. Nice idea.
Yeah, it's just a shame there because they had 1, 2, 3, 5 players in the box. They just needed delivery in there then at that stage.
Still her goal. As it stands, is going to win it for Arsenal. Pushed on by Lander. Could argue she deserves a goal for that she's been today.
Yeah, I think she's done really well in it, and I think she'll probably come away and be disappointed that well, if she doesn't score, that she hasn't scored, because she's a good player. I think she'll score in this Super League. See, and that's the moment that puts the Arsenal in front. Julie's just gone off then.
Jordan Nobbs, the 18-year-old, is on in her place, and Claire Rafferty is being replaced for the last couple of minutes for Chelsea. Her replacement is the Welsh international Emma Plewer, who joined last year from the Bristol Academy.
Yeah, I think Jordan Nobbs has gone into midfield, and Niamh Faye has gone left back. Jordan Nobbs is a good little player. Sunderland, watched her play a few times and seen her in the FA Cup final a couple of years ago. Good young player, and she'll have been disappointed, I would suspect, not to start today.
Hit forward to Ellen White. Just a little fortunate there, Sophie Perry.
Great little touch from Ellen White though, chested it down, and again the defenders did well, unorthodox but well.
Last minute of the 90. Forward by Gemma Bonner for Chelsea, flicked on by Lander, cut out by Faye White. And followed by Bonner on Ellen White. Well, the goal scorer, a little emotional. She took that blow, of course, as well.
Yeah, it looked quite bad when she was on the floor. She obviously was distressed with it. Managed to get herself going, and maybe she has hurt herself a little bit more than we thought, and she first thought. It's a shame, because she's had a good day. She scored the goal at the moment that's helping her team win the game.
And the key thing really, Lucy, is that Matt Beard and his Chelsea team have made Arsenal work a lot harder than perhaps many expected to get this win, if it is a win.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good advert for the game, and it'll give all the rest of the teams the confidence that they can come and play and play their game against Arsenal, rather than just coming to Arsenal and playing against them and defending. And that's not what Chelsea have done. They've attacked, they've played well, and at the moment there's just the odd goal in it.
There are 4 more minutes of added time as well, as Perry concedes the free kick. Rachel Yankee is going to deliver this. Faye White is forward for it. Here comes Yankee then with the delivery. Ellen White had a swing at it, didn't reach her, it was cut out by Champ. One from Buett. Marshall just first on that second ball.
Yeah, I think that might be the difference there between the two teams, and that Chelsea have not really picked up that second ball that's dropped in the middle, and Arsenal have. And the most difficult thing in the game is scoring goals, and that's what Arsenal have done. Chelsea have given it a good go, and just got to keep going for the last few minutes.
Kim Little, last season's top scorer, goes off for the last couple of minutes of stoppage time. Laura Brutton, the 18-year-old, through their centre of excellence, is her replacement.
Yeah, I don't think Kim Little is as dominant as I've seen her in recent games. She's an excellent young player, but you never know whether the games in the Champions League have taken it out of her, and the travelling, and they've got obviously an important game, the second leg, and I would suspect that's why Laura's taken her off, given her 2 minutes rest.
2 minutes away from beginning the new Super League with a victory, Arsenal. Horton, it comes to Carter, block from Davis, back with Carter, cleared by Bonner. Morwood. Chelsea need to get this at the other end of the field.
think that Arsenal would be gutted if they conceded at this stage, because I would think they feel that they've been the better team on the day. But you know, when there's only one goal in it, then you know the other team have always got a chance. So I think one last push.
Lara Faye with the throw. Chapman. Faye White is down for Arsenal as Yankee chases this. She had some discomfort, the Arsenal England captain.
Yeah, I didn't see what she did, but I saw her on the floor sort of wincing in pain as she is doing now. I don't know whether when she went over on her ankle or anything like that. Looks a little bit like she might have gone over on her ankle.
That will be a worry with Saturday in that Champions League semi-final, second leg in mind. Last minute of stoppage time. Champ just crowded out really, and Arsenal have plenty going forward here. Nobbs. Yankee.
Again, good defending by Chelsea, you know, and at the end of this game they look back and they've just conceded through a set piece. They'll be really, really disappointed, because that's the difference between the teams at the moment.
And an overhit, and perhaps that was the last opportunity. Laura Harvey knows that Arsenal are virtually there. The new FA Women's Super League begins with a familiar name winning the game, but Arsenal certainly didn't have it all their own way. It wasn't as comfortable and straightforward as many predicted. But Gilly Flaherty with the all-important goal after 35 minutes gives Laura Harvey and Arsenal ladies a winning start on the new platform for women's football. But Chelsea, the new-look Chelsea, who finished third in the old Premier League, made them work and pushed them all the way.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was a great advert for the women's game and the new Women's Super League. I think Chelsea will get better as the season goes on, as they play gel, and Arsenal you know, are still a formidable force, but it will be close because there'll be other teams up there as well.
Disappointment for Chelsea, but plenty of positives to take into the remaining 13 games. You can see it on the face of their manager, Matt Beard.